Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our channel, Keep Inspired the People's Perspective. Currently, we are present in Prayagraj in Mahakumbh area, and I have a friend of mine who is born in Russia and currently living in London. So, hi, can you please just give a brief introduction about yourself to our audience?
Hello. Hi, my name is Maria. I was born in Moscow quite a long time ago, 40 years ago, and but at the age of 26, I moved to the UK. And well, long story short, what I'm doing here is I have a degree from the University of London in traditions of yoga and meditation, and currently I'm studying and doing my M.Phil at the University of Oxford in classical Indian religion. So I'm basically studying Sanskrit and Indian religion. That is why I'm here at Kumbh Mela in 2025.
As you mentioned, Maria, you are studying in Oxford University and you're pursuing Sanskrit. You're doing M.Phil in
That's
Sanskrit.
correct. I'm doing M.Phil in classical Indian religion, but because all Indian scriptures are all not only religious but religious scriptures as well are mainly in Sanskrit. This course is heavily based on Sanskrit studies as well. Yeah.
So, if I may ask you, I am an Indian, right? And in my education, I did not pursue Indian culture or subjects which is related to Indian literature or Indian philosophy. What, if I ask you, what attracted you or what motivated you or what made you pursue your M.Phil from Oxford University in Indian culture or Sanskrit language?
Well, that's a really good question, but I don't have a simple answer to that. I've started traveling to India 15 years ago, and since then, I think more or less I travel to India every year, maybe except a couple of years during COVID. So I spent quite a lot of time in India, and it was I started traveling to India before I started studying in yoga and Sanskrit and um, religion traditions and philosophy. But while I sp- while I was spending my time in India, my interest elaborated, and yeah, that's it became natural. But then I was searching for a school or school of thought I'm mostly interested in, which is, well, in my case, it's Kashmiri Shaivism. But yeah, then, yeah.
Since you mentioned you are traveling to India from last 15 years, am I correct? Right. What was the first experience like when you came to India? How India treated you, and what made you come again and again from last 15 years? And right now we are here in Prayagraj, and we are celebrating a festival of Sanatan Dharma, which this Mahakumbh comes it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for people because it happens after 144 years. So if I may go back to the question which I asked you, that 15 years back, how was your experience coming to India and witnessing this culture?
15 years back, it was very different. 15 years back, I was on my way to Goa, but I would say, well, I landed in Mumbai and Bombay, but it was 2009, and India changed dramatically since then in a good way. I mean, it's so smooth now, even though we are in a hardcore place, like I don't know, Burning Man of India, but real. Um, Mumbai 15 years ago was a hardcore. I mean, maybe it's quite difficult to find such a hardcore here in Prayagraj in 2025. And since then, well, India is huge, and every state is different. And I mean, I was in Kedarnath. I was in quite a lot of different places. I just came to Prayagraj from Kerala, which is quite an opposite stuff, right? So now coming to India, like the last 5 years, is just so smooth and neat experience. You land in a fancy airport of Bangalore. We don't have such airports in London, so
Yeah.
I mean, international airport of Bangalore is amazing. And you take Uber, and it's like
It's smooth.
it's smooth. 15 years ago, it was proper hardcore experience. It was shocking, but something is behind this, which is real and which makes me come back all the time, yeah, every time. Yeah.
Okay, Maria, if I talk about you currently live in London, right? And you're here in India. What difference, what cultural difference, what difference do you feel inside your heart and inside your brain when you are in London and when you are in India? Would you like to talk about it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think in the West in general and in London in particular, I love London, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
mean,
of course, of course, of course.
that's my choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent 26 years in Moscow and I love London. I prefer London to Moscow and so on. But in the West, we are focused on outer things, like, you know, we are earning money. I love earning money, don't get me wrong. Um, I love, you know, fancy stuff. I love being in nice places. I love eating nice food. I'm not an ascetic by any means. But it's very, very important, in my opinion, to remember that you can have all that, but you can be happy without all that. And here in India is, well, not, you know, India is a huge country as well as Russia, not such in the UK, you know, but you know the difference is huge. You have the most successful people in India, and unfortunately, the other side of the scale is also there. The same in Russia. Uh, but what is important, I think, I believe, is that you can be happy with all these goods and without this. And that's in India. This connection is closer. So when I'm in India and I have all this, you know, dust coming into my face, and I was like, well, I don't like it. I will go to Prayagraj and rent a hotel. Prayagraj, by the way, is full. There are no hotels, so there is no way back. Um, um, no, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that my face is dusty. It doesn't matter that it's cold in the morning and it's hot during the daytime. It's just, it's not about, yeah. Yeah, it makes me feel. And sorry, the last comment. I think what I'm speaking about is called resilience. So you develop your resilience to be happy in any circumstances, which is really important, I think.
Talking to you, I'm feeling like you are a very spiritual person. Am I right?
When I remember, or when I remind myself that I'm not just a money-making machine to pay that, and that, to pay my Oxford fees, then yeah. But we often forget, and myself as well, that we are spiritual. You know, I'm sometimes just I'm taking my computer, emails, that sort of stuff, like all of us, right?
And if I talk about Maria, how has your experience been practicing yoga? You are a yoga practitioner as well, if I'm not wrong.
Well, you mean postural yoga? Yeah, I practice Ashtanga yoga in Mysore, which is um, the nest, the place where Ashtanga yoga was born, right, by Krishnamacharya and Patap Hidrois. Yeah, I've practiced there for a few years, so I spent a few winters in Mysore practicing Ashtanga. Unfortunately, I'm not practicing now every day, but I should. But now I'm just working and practicing my Sanskrit, unfortunately. But yeah, I used to do a lot of yoga.
Okay. This, yeah, I was about to ask. So, where did you come across yoga and the concept of yoga?
Oh, but I mean, it's everywhere in the West right now. So in a way, yoga was reincarnated in the West and brought back to India. If you think about the history, because it was in India. Then during, I think, as far as I remember this history, I've studied history of yoga for a few years. There was a decline in just yoga, like I'm not speaking about ascetics practice. It was always there. Like all those people, sadhus, I'm not speaking about them. Their practice is real, genuine, but it's not the yoga we're speaking about right now. But postural yoga wasn't that popular in India as it is now, because it's flourishing in the West. It's a huge like money-making industry, like $5 billion capitalization of rubber mats. You know, they make money on that. So now it's back popular in India.
But
But
then in India, if I tell you, yoga is being practiced since ancient times. But nowadays, in Western countries, it is becoming yoga is becoming a sensation. People are loving coming to India. Have you visited Rishikesh?
yeah, I had, yeah.
What was your experience like in
Yeah,
Rishikesh?
it's just yoga school over yoga school over yoga school. It's very full of tourists, you know. Like, if you visit in 1 week, if you visit Rishikesh and Haridwar, as two opposite experiences. Like, Haridwar is It's just core, proper, hardcore religious experience. If you are not prepared, it is very intense. Rishikesh, you can have a fancy coffee, speaking about all this, white gurus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, different experiences. Like, yeah. What I practice in terms of postural yoga is in Mysore. I like Mysore. I would love to be in Mysore now, but I have to come back to Oxford. Unfortunately, I cannot spend this winter in the UK in Mysore.
If I may ask you, please tell me five things you love about India. The best five things which
India.
you love about India.
Food,
Food. Okay.
yoga,
Yoga.
Sanskrit,
Sanskrit.
people,
People.
music.
Music. Okay. You fond of music?
I spent a few Mahashivaratris in Varanasi, and at the time of Mahashivaratri in Benares, there is a festival called Mela. It's a 24/7 classical Indian music festival. That's amazing. The quality of the musicians there is it's top notch. Yeah. I like classical Indian. I like northern Indian music, like proper ragas, that sort of stuff. That's I like.
That's really great. Really great. And if I would like you to tell our audience about Sanskrit, and because see, I am an Indian. I am born and brought up in India. But then I myself, I don't know Sanskrit. I understand very little.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. But then you are studying in Oxford University, and that too you're pursuing Sanskrit.
Yeah.
So would you like to talk about it?
It's it's extremely interesting and very beautiful language, which requires a lot of effort and a lot of memorization. And unfortunately, my brain is not good as it was 20 years ago, but still, you can spend a couple of hours, I'm not, exaggerating, translating a couple of lines of something which was composed for kids, right? Stories for young rajas, yeah, for young kings. I think it's called Panchatantra, right? Something like that. Hitapadesha. And you spend 2 hours of your life translating a sentence about a boy or a Brahmin and a mongoose and something like that and a snake. But somehow it counts like a yoga practice. It's very good for your brain. I don't know. I wish in a couple of years my Sanskrit will be less painful, I would say, because now I have like half of my suitcase is full of Sanskrit books. Because now, starting of today, there is a first week of studies in Oxford, and I'm missing my first week of the term here at Kumbh Mela, so I need to do my classes while I'm here. Yeah, yeah.
So, to attend this Kumbh Mela, you have left your first term in Oxford University.
That's correct. That's correct. And my teacher wasn't happy about that, but he told me if I could, I would go, but I had to teach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but my
So your
Sanskrit is.
teacher was also excited and to come here in
Well,
Kumbh
he said,
Mela.
Maria, you will regret that you missed a week because it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
But if you take this risk, please do. Yeah.
Would you like to recite any shlok for our audience?
No, not that good.
Any line in Sanskrit which you remember?
I remember one short sentence which is like Kim Prayatnena, which means why is the effort? Why to bother? But there is always something to bother. And the other thing is I remember is Gachamaha, which means let's go. That's it.
So, if I ask you, Maria, what was the longest duration you have been here in India? Month, week, 2 months?
3.5 months. In,
Three.
in, in my in my store, I usually stay for 3.5 months. Yeah.
Okay. That's really, that is where you practice yoga.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how is life here in India? And if I talk about like dincharya, you understand your daily routine here in India, what it's like here and what it's like there in London.
Well, I'm not going to pubs here in India, which is nice, which is good for health. But other than that, the routine is really different because when I'm in my store, I'm practicing. Here, I was working today in the morning instead of yoga. Well, it depends, but at least I would say the lifestyle in India is much more healthy than in London or in Oxford.
And you are here in Mahakumbh, Prayagraj, and I'm sure you must be witnessing sons, Maharaj, Naga Baba, and Babas all across. So, what do you feel about
Oh, yeah, I like it.
those
I
people?
mean, that's the reason why I'm here. Actually, I think it's very interesting phenomena and very interesting religious culture and philosophical phenomena. And that's to be honest, that's the only reason I am here. Those people. I'm interested in observing them, maybe interacting with them, taking pictures, which is maybe not that nice, but I'm still I'm a little bit a scientist in a way. A little bit not a scientist, but like a scholar. Um, so, well, those people are my main reason. It's not rather. I'm less so interested in new formations like, if I may say so, Vishwa Hindu Parishad. I'm interested in those people who are practicing since 10th century. That's yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you're not interested in any of the parties or anything like that. You're just
I mean,
here
I'm
to
very grateful that we have a place here and very,
organization.
very safe here and very well organized. But my scholarly interest in those people, yeah,
The people who are spiritually connected to God. Right. Okay. Got it.
some
Got it.
way, yeah.
Because yeah, and if I talk about the safety you feel here in India overall, not only here in Prayagraj, this Kumbh Mela, but then every time you have visited India, how safe you have felt in across cities wherever you have traveled.
Well, mostly safe. Like I would say, 99% I feel safe, and there are places like in Benares. I love Benares, and I spend a lot of days there, but in Benares, there are certain places where you don't want to go, and you should not. Like you don't want to interact with people working nearby the main burning ghat, right? Just because they're not nice people. But other than that, Benares is beautiful. It's but the same as in every country, Same is in the UK, it's the same as in Russia. No, I feel safe in general. Yeah.
So you're saying that India is safe for people,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and
And yeah, I'm a solo traveler, so
you are a solo traveler.
usually, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And what has been your experience since how many days you're here in Mahakumbh?
I arrived on Friday night,
Friday.
and I'm leaving on Friday night as well. So
So, approx 1 week you are
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
So, so far, how has Kumbh Mela, Prayagraj has been treating you?
Oh, it's very good. No, no, no. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I'm a little bit cold in the morning because I came from Kerala, but other than that, all good, all good.
And if I would ask you, this Mela has been organized on such a huge level. So much people are coming here, and we are estimating approx 40 crore people to visit this Mahakumbh Mela during this duration of approximately 1 month. So, what are your comments on how this Mela has been organized? What message, what would you like to give to people who are watching you via our channel? Worldwide, mentioning.
No, I mean it's obvious, I guess, to everyone that the effort which was made to organize it is just enormous, and it's very impressive how it is organized. And as far as I understand, and I'm not, I don't know the current Indian situation, and I'm not that much interested in it. But because I'm a part of the group where most of the people are Indian, they shared that with me that compared to the previous Kumbh Mela, that the organization of the whole venue, the whole venture is enormously better. Yeah, it's very well organized.
So
It's
did
all,
you visit the Ardh Kumbh which
no,
happened few
no,
years
that's my
back?
first one.
This
No.
is your first
Yeah.
Kumbh. Okay, yeah, please tell me. About the how it has been organized in a on a journal ground. Not I'm not talking about any government or anything.
No,
I'm just talking in general. What do you feel being around so many people and how wellly organized this is? I'm asking that.
well, first it's safe. Second, we have lights. Third, most of the places have connection, so we are staying connected. Perfect food everywhere. I don't know, all good. As in, and it's obvious that the amount of work behind this goodness is huge. So, yeah.
So are you feeling spiritually high? Are you feeling connected to God being here?
Sometimes, not every moment, not every moment. Sometimes I feel cold, tired, sleepy. Sometimes I need to work. Sometimes I'm worrying about Sanskrit and my Oxford studies. But sometimes I feel very much connected. Yeah.
So do you know about Sanatan Dharma?
Well, that's the Indian term for Hinduism, if you want, and Hinduism is a British term for Sanatana Dharma, right? But it's such an umbrella thing, right? You have everything. So,
So you can say Sanatan Dharma is the umbrella and the mankind living behind and following Sanatan Dharma. So do you know anything about Sanatan Dharma?
well, I mean, but Sanatana Dharma is this umbrella, right?
Yeah.
But what do you mean? Do I know? I study a few branches of it. Like I'm interested in some Shaiva section of Sanatana Dharma, if you want.
Thank you so much, Maria. And any message you would like to tell via our channel?
No, sorry. I'm just I usually I don't speak that much. So I think I'm just very grateful I'm here. That's the main message. And you're right. That's one in a lifetime experience. I don't know where we're going to be in 12 years, but I know where we're going to be in 144. Definitely not in this body at least. Yeah.
This Mahakumbh again is gonna happen after 144 years. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for every people present in this world right now.
Yeah, that's correct. At least in this body, right? Right.
In
Yeah.
this body, yes, in this body especially. So yeah. All right, Maria, thank you so much.